During World War II, the world was divided between the Axis and Allied powers, but not every country took sides. Nations like Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland chose neutrality, navigating the dangerous waters of global conflict while avoiding direct involvement. But what role did these neutral nations play during the war, and how did they manage to stay out of the fighting? In this video, we'll explore the complex and sometimes controversial role of neutral nations in World War II. Switzerland, a small nation surrounded by Axis powers, maintained its neutrality throughout the war. Its mountainous terrain and well-prepared army helped deter invasion, while its banking system became a refuge for both Axis and Allied assets. Despite its neutrality, Switzerland's role was not without controversy. It traded with both sides, sold arms to Nazi Germany, and provided safe haven for assets, including stolen Jewish property. Switzerland also provided a vital service to the Allies by acting as a mediator for prisoners of war and hosting international diplomatic efforts. Though it remained neutral, Switzerland's strategic position allowed it to influence the war in more subtle ways. Sweden played a key role in the war due to its rich deposits of iron ore, a critical resource for Germany's war machine. While officially neutral, Sweden exported large quantities of iron ore to Nazi Germany, which was crucial for the production of German tanks, ships, and weapons. This trade allowed Sweden to maintain its neutrality, but also made it a controversial player in the conflict. However, Sweden also assisted the Allies. By the later stages of the war, it allowed Allied bombers to use its airspace and provided safe passage for Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi persecution. Sweden's delicate balance of neutrality and trade helped it avoid invasion while quietly supporting the Allied cause. Spain, under the dictatorship of Franco, had just emerged from a brutal civil war when World War II began. Although Franco had close ties to Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy, he chose to keep Spain officially neutral. Spain provided some support to the Axis, including sending the Blue Division to fight on the Eastern Front and allowing Axis forces to refuel and use its ports. However, Franco knew that direct involvement in the war could destroy his fragile regime. Spain's economy and military were weak, and Franco balanced carefully between the Axis and Allies, even providing intelligence to the Allies in exchange for avoiding conflict. By the end of the war, Spain remained largely untouched, but its support for the Axis stained its reputation in the post-war era. Portugal and the Salazar regime. Like Spain, Portugal under the dictatorship of Antonio de Oliveira, Salazar maintained neutrality while carefully navigating between the Axis and Allies. Portugal had a long-standing alliance with Britain, but also traded extensively with Germany, providing key resources such as tungsten for military use. Lisbon became a center of wartime espionage and diplomacy, with spies from both sides operating in the city. While Portugal leaned towards the Allies later in the war, Salazar's government successfully kept the country out of direct conflict, preserving its colonies and strategic position. The neutral nations of World War II may not have fought on the front lines, but their decisions had significant impacts on the course of the war. Through trade, diplomacy, and sometimes controversial compromises, these countries managed to maintain their sovereignty while influencing the global conflict. The legacy of their neutrality continues to be debated today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what other historical topics you'd like to explore. Thanks for watching.